Hello and welcome to our SICAT Air software WebEx. Before I explain the software, SICAT software, I would like to show you how you can integrate the software into your daily practice. First of all, you have already either way a scan of the patient, or you screen your patient the first time for the first consultation. And with this scan, you can create already awareness for sleep apnea or educate your patient by visualization of the airway. And last but not least, you can even give him like a patient handout straight out of the software. After the patient comes back with the diagnosis of sleep apnea from a sleep lab or a home sleep test, you can start the treatment. This premise is based, of course, on a mild and moderate OSA diagnosis, and if the patient is willing to wear a sleep appliance. You determine the grade of protrusion and screen the patient in that treatment position, and then you can order out of the software a sleep appliance. Here now we jump right away into the SICAT Air software. So let me start out of the Sidexis 4 here. Here we have our patient Robert. Robert got screened the first time for function. So he has an appliance in his mouth, like a fusion bite. And I go ahead and grab his first scan here and open it up into SICAT Suite. So the SICAT Suite is quite easy and straightforward. You just start from the left to the right. The first is the prepare button. So you go into the panoramic, adjust the panoramic curve here. Here you want to make sure that you capture the occlusal, all the jaw. You can adjust a V shape or a U shape patient. Usually we always go for the tall patient. You can tilt the head a little bit if the patient was not in the right position. And then you go on OK. So now we have the patient here. The next step would be to analyze. Here we want to do the airway segmentation. So I start to segment that, press that button, and I start to segment the airway. Just in case you forget what I'm telling you here, we have that little video, tutorial video on the right side here. It shows you how to segment the airway, but it's also straightforward. You double click on the hard palette and drag your mouse down to C2 and double click here. Now the software automatically segments the airway. I can always remove something from the airway, add something to it, or remove it in the 3D image, or completely remove the airway segmentation. If I'm happy with what I did here, I can go on to OK, and now my airway is right away visualized here in the software. I have different views. I can have it just with a soft tissue here, another view of the soft tissue. I can have bone and soft tissue, or just the bone. Here, this I can adjust the setting button, can adjust the soft tissue down here, transparency or the bone, reset if I want to. And here I have my clipping tool. I can clip it half, clip it up, open here, or go back to full, and even go back to the just the airway. On my right side, I see always it's the minimal cross section shows me right away here 44 millimeter square, 5 millimeter depth, 11 millimeter wide. So, and then I can go all the way down from the up, and it shows me constantly here on the bottom how much millimeter square I have if I'm going down in an endoscopically way up here. There we go. The same on the left side, the axial view and the sagittal view. I can do the MPR and radiology view here. That's measuring. I could do that from the condyle, or if I want to measure something like in the teeth. For the airway, I don't really need the measuring tools or the angulation tools, since I have that all in my airway here on the right side. I can do a screenshot to the Codexis 4. If I go and do that, I can always go into output and have it then here in the 2D export button. Or I do a screenshot to a clipboard, and then I can copy and paste it to a Word document or notes. Reset the layout, hide and the crosshair and the frames here, and blend it in again, reset the whole view. So these are our main features to analyze here. And the next would be straightforward. I go into consult, and now I can do a couple of hands out, create some hands out for the patient. I can draw an arrow here, show that, or show the patient the minimal cross-sectional view from the axial here, so I can cross that. All my markings I can make it bigger, the drawing, I can do a dotted, different colors, so that's all up to me. After I did my hands out, I can go and generate hands out. So here I can always write something by editing. By default, we have already a couple of sentences in here. There we go. Same over here. And then I can export the whole thing as a PDF. I can print it or show in a PDF file. So here I have my patient's name, and here I have my handout. I can always create my office logo, office name in here. I do that in the Codexis 4 software under settings. So, and that's a great handout giveaway for the patient to show friends and family, or even bring over to the sleep lab. Okay, so that's basically it for the first screen of the patient in Codexis in the Air software here. Close that now. And then I can jump. So I would, from here, I would go straight away to would send the patient to a sleep lab. Then the workflow would be after he comes back with the OSA diagnosis. I determine the grade of protrusion either way with the George gauge or with something else. So I definitely need to have his treatment position. And then I make an x-ray with that position, treatment position, and take an optical impression, a CEREC scan here. And then I can everything import into the SICAT Air software, and out of the Air software I can order a sleep appliance. So here it's a picture of the George gauge, how it comes. Here we have a small 2 millimeter bite fork, and the other ones are 5 millimeter. So therefore we need a minimum distance of 5 millimeter, better 6 millimeter vertical dimension. So that's the reason we always recommend to do like the bigger bite fork. If you have like a small jaw, the smaller one would work as well. And since if you're not really familiar how the George gauge works, we have a little video here. You have the patient, you take the George gauge, put it over the lower incisal, then you put a bite fork in there, 5 millimeter one, patient bite into it, take the most protrusive position, and then you let the patient protrude as much as possible, 100%. You write that down. There we go. And then you can adjust from 60%, 50%, 70%, whatever you want to let the patient protrude. You lock that down with the bite registration material, and then you can take the bite fork out of the George gauge here. Put it back in the patient's mouth and scan the patient with that treatment position here. And here we have an example I have in the chart. I have position number 1 and position number 2. So central occlusion or most protruded position. Then the most protruded position. And here for the example is from -2 to 5. So the difference is 7. And if you want to calculate like 50% of that, you do 7 times 0.5. So you have 3.5. So you set your George gauge on the -2, that's your starting position, plus the 3.5, so you set it on 1.5. The same with 70%. And then you just add the 4.9 to the -2, so you put your George gauge on 3.5. We have everything on our website as well under SICAT.com. Support and downloads. We have like little quick guides, and there's also how to like different charts, how to set the George gauge. What we also have under support and videos, we have that little video I just showed you. We have that on our website as well. So let's jump back into our software. So patient came back, you did the second scan in the treatment position. Go back here. Please just remind that the second scan should be done in the same mode like the first one, HD on or HD off. So that's really important. So here we have our second scan. I open it up again in SICAT Suite. So here we go. Now I do exactly the same. I again go on prepare. I adjust the panoramic curve. Since that is the second scan, maybe the patient was in a different position. So here again, I can tilt wherever I want to have my airway. And then making sure I capture my occlusion here in the trough here, and then I say okay. So there we go. And then I can go on analyze. So now I go again and segment the airway. Again, little tutorial video on the right side. I double click on the hard palette, drag it down to C2, double click here. There we go. So now I can even show you if I don't really like that little airway thing here, what goes up into the mouth. I just go and say remove with that lasso, and then I capture that and remove it. And now I can say okay, and here I have my airway. Straightforward. It shows me again my minimal cross-section view, and here I see already everything is green, so that really shows me nice, or it visualized for the patient. Green is fine. Here I have I can always adjust that or make it more critical if I want to by adjusting that here. On the right side, reset. Yep. Or I go into settings, go under SICAT Suite, SICAT Air, and here I can reset the default completely. Different parameters. Otherwise, I reset it here. So save or cancel. So here is the thing. And on the right side, again, the different views, how I want to do my screen. And the next step now I can do, since I have a second scan here, I can go ahead and do the airway comparison. That was my untreated position, that's right. That was my treatment position, that is right. Next. And now I have already, from my untreated position, I have already the segmentation ready to go. The only thing I need to have is now in my treatment position, and here I just double click on the hard palette and it drags it down automatically to the next one. So here I have my airway, I say yep, fine, next, and here I have my airway comparison. There we go. On the right side it shows me right away, if I go down endoscopically, how much more I gained, like before in the minimal cross-sectional view on the left side, how much more I gained by protruding the lower jaw. So that is quite impressive for a patient, for example, to see really what an appliance would do with his airway. Okay, and then I go ahead and say finish, and by default that will be right away in my handout, the airway comparison. And then I can do again the same. I can measure something, or I can do the consult. I go draw some arrows if I want to do another handout. And like I said, by default, the airway comparison is in here already. Here we go. And that's what we have. Everything I can delete as well if I want to. I can delete a handout or not, the airway comparison. And here now, in the next step, I can go ahead and order an appliance if the patient is willing to wear something. Here I can import my CEREC scanner. Now we need to have a CEREC scan imported into the software, and I go ahead and do that here. Of course, I can also send some stone models to SICAT and they will scan it in and put it in the software. In this case, it is a SIXD file, so that means that's an out of the CEREC Ortho software. An SSI file is also totally fine. I go ahead and open that. And here we go. Now we have our CEREC scan. Say next. And now I just import it into the 3D software by double clicking at the same tooth. That's the same like it is in the implant or in the function software. I double click. I want to cover a larger area and preferred the non-restorative teeth. Say next. And here I can double check if the scan is lining up nicely into the 3D image, which is super important. You want to have, we are milling the appliance based on the CEREC scan. So you want to make sure that that fits really nicely into the 3D image. So that looks good to me. I go next, and now I have the upper one. Now I go again, double click, same teeth. K9. And even 3 is enough, like I'm showing you now. So here, it's lining up nicely. If something doesn't line up, you can always go back. But in that case, it's fine. I say finish. So now my CEREC scan is in the 3D image. And here you see my protruded position. That's the vertical dimension of minimum 5 to 6 millimeter. And then I go ahead and order an appliance. I can let SICAT know something in that information field if I want to. And then I just go on to add to shopping cart. And here is my order, SICAT OPTISLEEP, and I can go ahead and finalize order. By default, the software should connect right away to the portal here. You have your portal, you put your password in, and then you go ahead and connect. Unfortunately, my software just can do German, so here it tells you how much, and then I agree, and then I can order it. So that would be it. And going back to the software, it shows you then that your checkout, your order is uploaded to the cloud, and it tells you as well in the SICAT suite software that it is uploading. If you by any reason shut down your computer and turn it on the next morning and it was not uploaded completely, it will automatically start uploading again. So after 1 week, you will get an OptiSleep sent back to your office, and that looks like that. It has a 2-year warranty. All teeth are covered, and again, your CEREC scan has to be really accurate. Perfect fit if your CEREC scan was accurate. It's a strong material, medical grade PMMA, slim design. It's very comfortable. The feedback we get from our patient is they almost don't feel it. You always have the data backup, just in case you lose it. And it comes with 10 sizes interchangeable connectors here. So just in case the jaw of the patient is too much protruded, you can always exchange it to a larger connector, so it gives the patient a little bit of relief. That's how the OptiSleep comes in a box here, with a patient brochure, how to take care of the OptiSleep appliance, with a doctor's brochure, and with the little connectors here in the box. We would recommend that you keep, as the doctor, you keep the connectors, and you will be the person who is interchanging if necessary. So, and that's basically it. Thank you for listening to our SICAT Air WebEx. Thanks.